10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are back from Cup.
Back from Cup.
Actually, a week after back from Cup, a little week off.
Back from Cup. Yeah, it would have been a struggle bus to record last week with
Yeah.
everyone getting back. I mean, I don't know what time did you get back the Sunday after Cup? It was probably pretty. Or you probably came back Monday or Tuesday, didn't you?
We drove back Sunday night.
You
We
drove
got back
Sunday
like 1 a.m.
Yeah, I was back before then, obviously, because I left right when you were done playing. But it was still I had a funeral to get to that Monday, so I was like, oh, this is pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's the drive back always sucks. We had the house until Monday. I was like, you stayed on Monday? I'm like, I'd like to, but
It's one of those things. Like a lot of times I do stay at my cousin's like the Sunday after Cup.
yeah, we should have because we had off work, but
Yeah, but it's nice to be back. Like, because then I feel like I get an extra day. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, exactly. It sucks getting back.
yeah,
Like we were all cycling. Me and her were going back and forth trading the driving back. It just I was like, Jesus, dude.
yeah,
And it's not even that far of a drive, like 4 hours. It just fucking sucks.
yeah. And then the Bucky stops always fuck everybody up.
Bucky's changing. Well, you need the Bucky's to get you the caffeine to
You
keep going.
do.
So,
I see. I had a brisket sandwich. That was my. See, I tried the brisket taco on the way down. It was horseshit. Didn't like it. That was like I googled like what the best breakfast thing to get was, and I
yeah.
got a brisket taco and then just like an egg taco or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I forget exactly. The brisket one was shit. The cheap egg one was very good. And then on the way back, I always get the pulled pork or the brisket sandwich. And I was like, let me get a brisket sandwich on the way because it's just easy. Instead of doing like 4 stops, I can literally get gas, take a piss, take a shit, get my Bucky snacks, and then I bought everyone a bunch of Bucky shit for fucking Christmas. So I ended up like spending like $110
God.
because I bought coffee for some people. Like they have a whole. I never really like walked around it.
They have a big store.
Yeah, like and so
Bucky's
I went.
is
It is badass. They had some cool barbecue sauces. I was like, oh, those are good Christmas presents. And they had some like
There you go, Dad.
hot sauce. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like one for him, some coffee and some shit like that. And I'm like, I get to the front and like I had it all in like a basket. And their baskets are bigger than like a normal store basket, but it's still
Because they're smart.
yeah, they are smart. They're like, oh, someone will
They
fill
know
it
you're
up.
gonna fill it
Oh
up.
yeah, I sure the fuck did. And I put it up there, and the lady's like checking out my shit, ringing me up, and she goes, "Where are you coming from? You ever been to a Buc-ee's before?" I'm like, well, I mean, I've been a few times because it's always my Orlando stop, either the St. Augustine or the Daytona. I was like, I think this is my last trip to Florida, and I was like, I figured let me get some Christmas shit. She goes, makes sense. And then she goes, you're totally 108.94. I was like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't leave there without spending like $20.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's normally what it is.
$20 guaranteed. Every day I walk in, pull a $20 bill out of your pocket, burn it. That's what it is.
I will say their ice is fucking cheap. Like a bag of ice from them is like 75 cents for like a 20-pound bag. And a 10-pound bag's like 50 cents. I'm always like, that's like ice is expensive. Like I buy a lot of bagged ice and I'm always like, that is so cheap for ice. Like,
yeah.
No bullshit. But so yeah, get your ice at Buc-ee's, everybody. That's their little free promo.
So drive to Jacksonville and get your
get your cheap ice.
Save your money.
Yeah. So how was your World Cup? What happened to you? Because you had the good one. Everybody else. Well, I mean, I still had a good cup.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. But I would say our Georgia Extreme Lines did not have a good cup. But you with the veteran militia boys had a good cup. Or do we do the bad and work our way? How do you want to
start with the bad? I was so surprised about how y'all guys did because
I don't understand.
Y'all both had very competitive lines.
I agree.
And y'all lost. Your team especially lost games to teams you had no business losing to.
And we were losing like 3-on-5s.
I missed the first one, but I heard that you were up on bodies and you had a terrible penalty.
Yep.
And then the point I watched, you guys were way up on bodies. You guys ran 3 bodies into the death. Against when one dude shot 3 different guys. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. And Hayden struggled a little bit getting out the snake. So did Frank. He struggled to get out snake. They couldn't both your guys going wide couldn't survive. And if you can't survive out on the snake side, it's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And we noticed that like our snake side was getting blown apart in X Ball. So I ended up switching over and playing snake side, and it drastically changed like survivability rate over there. You know what I mean? So we noticed that was kind of the game plan. So that's where I played at for the rest of everything for X Ball and 5-man. I'd stayed on the snake side. Snake has the 2 actually, which is very odd for me.
Yeah, that is. I meant to ask you that because I really didn't talk to you the whole weekend, but the nitty gritty I kind of stayed out of the way. But I assumed that was why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
we had a couple different rotations over there, and they just couldn't really get the job done. They were kind of struggling in losing gun battles, or they would run into their death, you know. And I went over there in the first 3 points we played against Space Cadets over there, which is the number 2 team, I think in the nation, D3X. And I run out, get 1 kill on the break for the snake runner. We kind of get some decent points. I think Jamie plays in front of me a little bit, and we get down, get some kills, game over. And then second point, I think Jamie or Trevor isn't that? I can't know who's in front of me. Either way, they go up in there, and they're kind of maybe Kyle. I think it was Kyle actually.
So this is the X Ball line, right?
Yeah. Okay. And they're kind of like, he's up in there, and I know where the bodies are, and he's telling me where his guys are. So he's yelling at the brick is on them and the god's on them. So I kind of I go up to the god, shooting the wire, pushing both in, and I'm just like, well, I might as well just going through and let Kyle survive in there. So I just run through, jump over the brick, run down, dunk the brick, dunk the god, turn, shoot the alpha. I got like a 4-man run through. I'm like, wow, and not a hit on me. I'm like, this is great. And then come back and like literally the very next point, run out, shoot snake side, kill a guy on the break, tell him Kyle or Trevor goes all the way up into it. I'm like, cool, shooting. Same shit. The guy gets into the brick, he's holding Kyle or Trevor. I run, jump over the beam, dunk the brick, clean as shit, turn. I know it's an alpha and a 100. Stop, clip the 400 in the head, shoot the alpha, and then the guy sees me in the corner, and we both literally just run at each other and just fucking joust in the middle of the field. I'm like, I'll take that. Like, there's still 3 of my guys behind me. You just ran your body out for no fucking reason. So I kind of like jog off the field. I'm like, I'm playing the snake side. It's not too bad. Oh, this is pretty easy.
Coming off someone that played 2 points at practice. Yeah. But hold on, let me rephrase this. Played 2 points at practice on the layout, but you only played 2 points in the 2 weekends we practiced the layout. Like, it wasn't true. Like, and you probably the weekend before that, you didn't play much. How much paintball have you played other than Cup in the past month? You probably played 5 games.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I like diagnosed a lot of the gameplay down from like setting up game plans for our guys to play, and then watching, because you got to think every time we play, I would like correct somebody's lane here, correct a shot, or show them then to be shooting here. So that kind of helps me out mentally to find out where I need to be shooting, or when I go here, this is my first look, I go here, this is my second look. You know, that's kind of at this point. I was talking to Kyle about it. Kyle's like, man, he's like, you know, he's like, we need you out there playing and practicing. He's like, you know, and I'm like, well, I was like, I'll be honest. I said, I don't get much playing against you guys or with you guys anymore.
Such a
like,
piece of shit. I know. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree.
Listen, if I go out there and I play against, like, if I play with our guys against like the Titan line, I get nothing out of that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'll get sloppy because I can be overconfident and make moves, overconfident in my gun skills. So all it does is hurt me.
Yeah,
so,
no, I
was trying to explain Kyle that I'm like the reason I don't play as much as I used to, like I'm practicing, unless people, and now if teams come, like I'll play those. But if I'm playing against a lot of our other guys, like our D5 line and D6 guys, like I don't play those. Okay, it hurts me more than it helps me.
Yeah.
But I get more knowledge out of watching how the field breaks down, where the shots are, and how to like close out games from that, you know. So like when I played with the Kings, I played against the Kings, like we were in a 3-on-5 body situation. I loaded the snake while we're down 2 bodies, and I literally just fought my way down the snake and did what we needed to do, and we won it like with no problem. But that's because I also watched fucking 40 points prior to that of every single shot in the snake and knew where to shoot at and where to shoot everybody from each bunker. You know what I mean? So I am better off not playing against certain people on the field because I'll only, and I know it works that way. Like I've been here for a while. I know if I play against like lower ranked guys that are hanging off their bunker 4 foot and I'm running out, like shooting them in the fucking side, I'm like, that shot's not going to be there.
No.
Like, or I can stay out of my bunker and like, oh, we got to shoot, move back in. Like, no, I don't get nothing out of that. So I was trying to explain to him how that works without sounding too much like a fucking dick.
Oh yeah, I know.
And he's like, no, I understand. And
it was because one of the times I looked at you during practice and I wanted to watch. I forget who I wanted to watch. I think I wanted to try something with it, and I was like, hey, just shoot your gun. Like play one so I can watch. I forget who I wanted to watch. You were like, yeah, but I'm like, I understand. I was like, but I need to see something for one point. And you were like, okay. And then you ended up, I think it came down. They ended up getting shot off break, and it was like a 1-on-4. And then you actually played because I mean, there's 4 fucking people. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you're like, I don't want to fucking lose.
Yeah. Oh, that was the.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it was against the Kings, I think, or no, our other guys.
It was against our guys because I had a 1-on-3 that I clutched.
That's what it was. I knew it was something.
Carson was in front of me. Yeah. I was playing his 2. I played the home, and then somebody got shot. I'm like, damn, somebody else got shot. I'm like, damn. And then Carson gets up in there. So I like Carson's in the 200 on the break, I think. And I just run by, dive in the fucking 300. And then he gets up to like the danger, and they're coming down Snake Side. And I'm like, it was against a little bit of everybody. Against,
I think it was a mix.
Yeah,
it was like
and some of the extreme guys at the same time. Because I got down to a 1. I shot what you call it in the center, Chuck, I think, and I clipped Tucker running down to get Carson. He shot Carson and went down to get me, got him. Then I got that 1-on-1 between me and Arthur, and he was over the snake beam. Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll take a 1-on-1. I guess I'm fine with that. And I ended up clipping him, and he's like, fuck. And I walked up, I'm like, not today, Arthur. I'm like, he's like, I thought today was gonna be the day. I'm like, nope, not today.
That's funny.
But yeah, I was just talking to trying to explain that just from watching games break down and stuff like that, I just get a little bit better field knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we did. We were shaky the first 2 days in X ball, but we were also using that as practice for 5-man, really, like learning different shit, trying out different breakouts and stuff. Because again, all of our dudes in VM don't play together. 6 of the guys never played the layout once. So we're going to couple and dudes who haven't even fucking seen this goddamn layout. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like it's always great.
Oh yeah.
You get the 5-man, you're like, all right, well, hope everybody's locked in because we're in for the fucking ride here, boys.
Yeah. Hope these people can ball.
Yeah. So I think we went 7-1 in 5-man. The game we lost, we shouldn't have lost. There was a fucking penalty thrown.
Yeah, that was against Hooties I'm looking at here.
Yep. We lost that, and then we went all the way through, and then you showed up and watched all of our Ocho's quarters and semis, which those are fucking grinders.
Oh yeah, those are good teams. Like it's 5.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. I understand the pros play X ball. I am I fully believe 5-man's harder than X ball. You don't have you can't make the mistakes you can in X ball. Now X ball is more of like I get why it's there and it's the true competitive way to do it. But 5-man's more difficult to play. Like you literally you fuck up, that's it. Like, and I think there's something to be said about that. You might not get as many teams and everyone wants to play X ball this, but when you got older guys and maybe slower guys that can't play, not saying anyone on that team can't, but you know what I mean? I think it I don't know. That's just how I look at it.
No, and it is. That's what it is. I mean, it comes down to it where a lot of our guys, a lot of our roster obviously just transfers over, but we never go into D3X going, all right, boys, we're going to take this.
Yeah.
No, but I do feel that we are a dead middle of the pack X ball team. Yep. And on any given day, we can beat top level teams, which showed we've definitely beat top level teams. We beat DMG, we beat fucking Space Cadets, we've beat top level teams. Yep. You know what I mean? But to make it deep in the finals, that's just not going to happen. We have to play. We would have to play with each other. Every single week on the layout, we'd have to shoot fucking 3 or 4 cases of paint per weekend per person on the layout, and that we're not around each other.
Yeah.
So, it's a miracle we can play together on 5-man. But we're really just relying on each other solely, like game knowledge and gun skill at that point, going, all right, this is what you do. You do this fucking job, we'll get through this. So I know you watched the one quarters. Was it quarters? Yeah, quarters.
I saw most of your games. I wasn't in the pit with you on Saturday. Me and Dad actually picked up on the outside because it was right after we played. So where they were watching us, we walked over and the Titans guys had all set up behind us, and we just kind of sat over there with them. So I watched you one time. I don't know what game it was, and my dad, he goes, "That's not Wes," and I was like, "But what did my dad say?" He goes, "That's not Wes. He's playing Snake Side," and I was like, "Normally you would be correct." I was like, "But I can tell how he's holding his fucking gun." And you ended up running down and shooting 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah,
it was one of the earlier matches for y'all on Saturday.
one of them the 5-man. It was a 3-on-1, and the guy goes to run down D side, and I clip him, and there's a guy in the center in like or in the brick or something like that, and I hit him.
Yeah,
and I know there's a guy in the Viper, and I'm like, all right, and I don't know it's a 1-on-1 yet. I know all my guys are dead, and I don't know. I think I was like, damn, I haven't heard a kill count yet. And I hear the dude's gun dry fire like twice.
Yes, this is the match.
And I said, "Oh!" I literally, as soon as I heard his fucking gun blind, like, pop, pop, I literally took off from the corner all the way to him, and as I see the ref, and the ref is like a goat. He sees me coming and doesn't even fucking move, and he is sitting right next to the guy, and he like turns his head, sees me, and doesn't fucking make an inch, and I literally run right past him. And
shot him at his loader.
Yeah, as I get to the dude, he's holding his loader in his hand, and he looks up at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're kind of fucked, dude." I put like 3 and a 4 right in his fucking mouth, and then shot him in the loader and everything else. I'm like, he goes, "Come on, dude." I'm like, "Hey, man, sorry." I'll like run by him. Like,
I see him walking off, and I see him looking in his loader, and he's pissed. And I looked at my dad. I was like, I could bet if Wes saw that loader, he went head, loader, like, sorry about your day. But you need to go clean that out in the pits real quick.
He definitely was holding that bitch in his hand with his gun, and he was like sitting in his lap, like doing surgery. And right when I heard it, pop, pop, I'm like, "Oh!" And I literally didn't hesitate, went down, and it was just, he was like stared at me like, "Fuck, man." I'm like, "Hey, bud, what's going on over here, dude?" He was fucking
that's funny. But yeah, sorry, we backtracked. We started in quarters, went back to prelims. Let's get back to that quarters final match.
So the quarters is pretty good. It was kind of scary. We played. We lost the first match.
You lost the first match.
Okay, yeah, and then we won pretty good the second match.
Yeah,
and then it has to go to 3. So we play them again, and I guess I heard they loaded our Denver on the break.
Yes,
that's what I heard.
They did.
So I didn't know that. I can't see it from where I am, and
you were again playing Snake Side, right?
Yeah. So I'm in the fire, and I'm shooting. I clip a dude, and I'm talking to Trevor, and they are literally containing me. And it might be that Denver. I'm not sure who it is, but they are shooting right next to my fucking bunker. So I look over at Josh, and Juan's playing, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm being contained. I just don't know where it's from. Something on the inside." So I'm shooting. Once that lane drops, I fucking dip, and right when I dip to the outside, Trevor goes in the snake. I'm like, "Cool." It's like a double move. I'm like, "Sweet."
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. The guy stands up out of the Viper, and he must have seen Trevor go. He stands up out of the Viper and comes to get him, and I just fucking beam this dude down. And the guy, he stopped right before he got to him. He stopped, and I don't know what told me. It was like God was like, "Hey, dude, you should maybe look inside." And I am shooting, and I literally look inside, and as I do, a dude, he must have came from the Denver, comes to come dunk Josh in the home. And as I turn, I'm like, "Oh my God." I spin over. This dude's like 1 or 2 feet, just about to dunk Kyle. And I just fucking roast his ass. And he still comes through and gets him anyways. And I am still beaming him. He hits the fucking buzzer. And I have 2 refs right there. And I'm like, "Dirty hang." I'm screaming. I'm like, "Dirty hang, dirty hang, dirty hang." He hit it. And the refs like instantly were like, "Okay, yeah. They're like, time. That's game. Like the dude's got fucking 50 goddamn hits.
Oh, yeah.
He tries to leave the field, and Josh's like, no, you fucking stay here. So the refs see him. He's covered in paint. They call it dirty hang. I guess the guy ran to the pits and took off his jersey or something.
He did. So I'm on the outside. He did. He went right to I'm watching because I'm like, okay, I'm on this as staff, so shit gets wild and they're out on the field. I have a little bit. I can argue a little bit here and there. Yeah. And I'm watching. I'm listening. And I literally watched the dude run all the way into the pit. He ripped it off, and he had just this bounce vest on underneath. And he had fucking welts everywhere, like his arms, his fucking shoulders.
I beamed him. There must have been 20 fucking shots on him.
Easily.
He kept coming.
Easily. Yeah.
So I'm yelling, and the refs are 100% back to me because I have a ref standing on my shoulder and a ref at my Snake 1, and there's a ref at the Viper, and they were all must have been watching this guy come through. Clipped him. He kept going, kept beaming him. He actually should have got major, and then it would have been close because if he could have got major, there was another guy in the load of the Snake. It would have been like a 3-on-2. But since he had a dirty hang, it's a swing point, and it's 3rd point, so we get the match. They sat there and argued, which I understand. It is the quarterfinals. You should argue your point, and they argued. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm like, you're done, So
I was bouncing between the two fields because they would go get like, I guess the like other ultimate was on the other field, bounce between y'all's field, and the other one bounced between them. So they would go get him, and I was just kind of like keeping my distance, but like just listening to everything. And he was arguing a losing battle. I mean, he didn't have a leg to stand on, but I will say the NXL did very good by listening to everything he said and would go ask the ultimate, and the ultimate would be like, no, that's not what happened. He goes, I was there because it was the dude with the helmet, the ref with the actual like bicycle helmet. Yeah,
Bobby. Yeah, and that's who we always get lucky. We personally know him. Not that we got a call in our favor, but he like there's no bullshit. Calls it fair. He's like, we're like, Bobby, like you've seen this. Like you were on the 50. You seen what happened. Yeah. Like, yep. So he's telling this guy, he's like, he has all his refs there, and he's like, hey, he pulled his refs. He's like, what did you guys see? And all of them said, he got shot before. He dunked the guy. Before we get to the major, he went and hit the fucking buzzer. He's like all in the same tie. So that's a dirty hang, is what it is. Game time stopped. So, and then the guy's arguing that didn't happen. So Bobby, the head ref, is like, he's talking to the guy. He's like, all right, all my refs are in agreement. This is what they all say. He's like, and apparently you see something different than all of my refs seen. He's like, were you playing? The guy's like, no. He's like, so how did you see what was going on in the field? And all my refs are wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get that match, and then we play. I don't know the team we played. I forget who they were.
Baltimore. The team that just did that was like Psychrosos. I don't know how to say that.
Psychosocial or some shit.
Yeah, but next y'all played in the semis.
Semis
was Baltimore Revolution.
Yeah. So we knew that team. Obviously it's pretty good.
Yep.
And you said it was our buddy's team that he was probably to be playing for, so it was good.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see it out there. So
I think their team took 4th.
Oh, okay.
If you know what I'm saying. So like they were in the other match. Like when you guys were playing like so they lost when y'all won, and then the team y'all beat played them and they lost again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they legit took 4th. Yeah.
So we played them. It was good. And again, went 3 fucking points.
Yep.
Had to get some tight battles again. Had to come down to it. We played tight, whatever. We won that. It was good. Won like 3 bodies alive or something. And I had Corey Field there, from Seattle Thunder.
Yep.
And he's kind of walking me through some shots, and I'm kind of talking to him. And he's like, I'm like, hey man, we got an extra jersey if you want to just throw a jersey on or something. And I guess he did pretty bad. And he's like, fuck that. He's like, you guys are doing fine. He's like, you be doing worse than me out there. He's like, we did not play well this weekend. They be out here playing this shit. So we were kind of like bullshit. And I was talking to him about some shots and what he thinks. And he said the same thing is what I was telling Jamie about how they were playing the field. Is I gave you guys both breakouts to run, and both you guys, I know Jamie's thought process. This is what Jamie's thought process was, is he does the same thought process I did, that I'm like, he's the strongest player on that line. Like, I don't need to be the attacker. Like, if I get shot, I feel that, I severely hurt my team.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to be the attacker. So I understand. But the best player sometimes has to be the attacker.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what you play and that's what the field needs, that's what it was. So that's where Jamie's line had an issue. They had their 2 on the D side. Just Shane struggled all weekend. He had penalties. He had a fucking hit in his face. He couldn't see it. You know what I mean? I don't know how you don't see it. Couldn't stay alive in the fucking alpha on the break. Michael Payne was up and down. He had good points and bad points, same kind of thing. So it kept kind of leaving Courtney over there by herself in the Dorito side. And And the one point they needed to win, fucking Shane tramples her going to the fucking 100. She takes off, and he's so scared about getting shot going to the alpha, which nobody was
I
getting
don't know.
shot going to
I
the
never
alpha.
got hit from that alpha.
Nobody
I
was
played it
getting
a
shot
lot.
going to the alpha. I don't understand. You know what I mean? But he literally jumped to the outside first quickly and fucking like stepped on her feet as she was running. She like falls in the middle of dead man's land, which is in between the alpha and the 100, and she gets clipped. I'm like, okay, and then she gets shot. I'm like, okay, well, you just fucking cost 2 bodies there. That and then the whole D side's busted, and that was the point they had to win. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, oh my god. And again, they lost 2 points earlier. They had gun problems. They lost 2 points earlier to fucking penalties.
Yeah.
Like Daniel got a penalty, I think, or I think he got a penalty. Somebody else got a penalty. I'm like, you cannot get penalties in 5-man. You cannot get. You have to play clean, man.
Yep.
Like you just have to play it. Like you can't put in a 5-man. You don't have that in X ball. You can get a penalty and go, okay, cool. We're down a point. We come right back. We're fine.
Yep.
5-man, you get a penalty. You set yourself. You're behind the ball now.
Oh yeah.
Now the other team can sit back and you figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we lucked out. We had just that one penalty the first match. Now, granted, I didn't see paint on him.
Yeah.
But I did get shot in the hand, dove and wiped that shit off. I actually thought maybe it was on me. I was like, damn, how did he fucking see that? And then I said, for what? He goes, other player got a penalty. I was like, cool, thanks, bro. Walked on off. I was like,
catch me.
I was like, you weren't anywhere near me. And it wasn't even like a lot of paint. It was like a line. I felt it. And then I was just like, oh, I'm running. I'll check when I get in. And when I slid, I threw my gun across the ground, picked it up covered in mud. And I was like, it's so much mud. And then I was like, fuck, it was on me. And then it was like, he was like, no. And Kevin was like, it was on me. He goes, I don't know for what, but he had no paint on him. So I was like, well, I call that one a wash because.
Yeah. So we go into the pro field, which is, I know you haven't played on it, but it's the weirdest feeling ever, right? Yeah. Because you're like, you have to sit down and wait for like 2.5, 3 hours. You have to wait to play, right? So you're like, whole time in your head, you're like, all right, let's go, let's do this.
Well, you're just trying to stay in that fucking zone from coming off a win. Everybody's getting iced. 2 teams getting iced.
And of course, we play a team. We've played like 200 fucking times. Like VM always plays against Rampage, the guys from Florida. We always play against them. Good group of guys. And both points we lost, obviously, because we took second place. We're close points. One came down to a 1-on-1. And I couldn't really understand what the fuck was going on. And now looking at it, I understand what happened the whole time. Cox pissed away both points. We put him in a spot to contain, and he was doing the opposite. Like he was containing the wrong side. So we put him in the Bravo, run up. He should shoot the 100 from the Bravo, which that shot. And then it gets there. He automatically shoots for the brick in the Seattle and just stays on that gap. The Alpha, which is Rangel, would run out, shoot the Seattle and the brick. And then when he gets there, he transfers over to the 100. Well, Cox was doing the opposite. He ran out shooting the fucking snake, got in, shot the 100. But you cannot see the 100 from the Bravo. You can't. You can't see the 200 from the Bravo. The only thing you can see is the outside of the 300 from the Bravo. Yeah. So I'm like, in my head, we lost both times because they had guys in the snake early. And I'm like, man, fuck, are they keep getting in a goddamn snake? We hadn't had this problem at all. Cox didn't play that bunker at all.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he didn't play it in practice at all, and he didn't play Expo either. But we gave him a spot. Like, all right, cool. You just go here, shoot here, dump 10 fucking pots of paint through this gap. Don't let him through. And they didn't go to the snake on the break. So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, now you're fucked. We're just going to contain you. We're going to run the snake now, and you're done. And I get to the corner, first point, and I'm battling. Trevor gets in there. The guy comes over, dunks Trevor, and I shoot him. But Trevor, I seen the guy's feet going to the Viper, and Trevor's in the little cakes, and I'm screaming. I'm like, Viper, assuming he's just going to go run and get him. Yeah. And he peels back and waits for him, and the guy comes over top and gets him clean. And as he's coming down, I fucking clip the kid over in his head. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's a trade. The guy comes running down the outside, dunks fucking, because we lost Rangel in the break, I think, or a couple seconds in, runs down, dunks fucking, they trade with whoever's on the inside. Then I see him running down fucking D side, and they're shooting at Cox. I spin, shoot him, and they shoot. So that's like a 1-on-3 3 with me. I end up getting like one more, maybe one more,
Yeah,
and then I die. I'm in the corner versus another Viper, a 400, and then somebody in the center. You can't survive against that.
yeah, especially that
So
fucking tall cake.
Yeah, you can't. But so at that same point, I ran out, and my same thing. I'm like, I told them, I'm like, I'm gonna run out, shoot the inside gap, the alpha, jump right to the wire, and
I
you
think we're
there?
good. Yeah, I'm still here. So
Okay,
for
yeah,
some reason my
you're
camera
carrying shut
turned
off.
off.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm just gonna run out, shoot my alpha, jump to the outside wire, and shoot the snake one. If they come down to the snake one, they're fucking dead. And he wanted the outside snake corner on the break, clipped him, boom. I'm like, cool. So I felt great. I'm like, kill one on the break, like we're good to go. Like we are fine, you know. And we ended up losing that fucking point, and I realized why.
Yeah.
But I'm like, God damn it. And then the second point, they triple stacked the D side, and we noticed it. So it was on me. Instead of getting to the outside of Trevor and going to my same spot, I lined up on the inside to have a little bit longer of a shot to shoot the fucking alpha, and I hesitated just about a split second too much, and I got clipped, and it hit me in the stomach. And I'm thinking like, oh, there's no way this broke.
Yeah.
Corner to corner of the field on the break, and it hit me directly in the stomach. I look down, boom, fat hit. I'm like, fuck me, man. Look at ref, he's calling me out. I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is. So I walk off, and then we kind of trade some bodies, and then it gets down to 1-on-1, and they poop on Cox's chest. He loses.
He lost the 1-on-1, but he killed fucking 3 dudes that came down to get him. They didn't know where he was.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was a 1-on-3 or a 1-on-4.
Oh, I think the 1-on-3, and he shot the 2 that were coming.
Yeah.
And then had a 1-on-1 for like 20, 30 seconds, and then lost. I'm like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, if he wins this 1-on-1,
oh, y'all win the match.
We're gonna win we're gonna win that point. Well, yeah,
that's what I mean.
We're gonna win this.
Yeah,
100%.
There's no way y'all lose. You would have sucked every bit of momentum they had. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's nothing they could have done. Like I had said the same. Actually, I might have said it to Jamie. I was like, if Cox wins this, I was like, they win the next point. Like, and it's over. Like they're first place. But you didn't.
Boom, shit on us. Second place.
I know. I felt so bad. So I pretty much hung around.
2 World Cups in a row.
Say what? Me, Jamie, and Kyle had pretty much hung around to see y'all play. That was really the only reason. And when we got out of the pits, the first person I see is Cox, and he's just like laying there on the ground. I'm like, oh, I know that's a fucking shit feeling. Like I could. I mean, granted, he shouldn't win a 1-on-3. You know what I mean? You're not expected to win that. But when you get to a 1-on-1, and it's just like you feel responsible. You know what I mean? Like whatever the whole thing, whatever the situation is, no matter what, it just feels like fuck. I could have done that for us, but yeah. Well, so I don't think I told you this. So when we're sitting in the grandstands waiting for your match to go, I don't know who brought it up or what, but we all kind of like looked over like, has anyone seen Shane? And we're like, this is Sunday. I like when y'all are playing, right? And we're like, oh no one's heard from Shane today. No big deal. When we're leaving, guess who's fucking strolling on in? Shane and his girlfriend. He was just getting there. When your match was over, 2:00 ish. Roughly between 1:30. Yeah. Okay, whatever it was. But we walk on in, and he's like, y'all aren't staying for the finals? We're like, no, we were staying for Wes's finals. I was like, I can listen to Dynasty and X Factor.
I can watch Dynasty play on the fucking thing. Fucking clown.
But yeah, he was like, I didn't know they were like, yeah, you knew they were playing last night. Like, you didn't have to be there at 8 a.m, but we figured you would have showed up.
Surprise.
But yeah, did you see any new equipment you liked?
Yeah. I won't get it just because my bag's already pretty nice, but the infamous bag.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Goat bag, pretty cool.
I think it's a little overpriced it's too small for how much they want.
Anything infamous, God damn it. Anything Infamous makes, overpriced.
Yeah.
I really want their Freak XL kit because they're black iodized. So basically, it's the stainless steel shims XL, but they're coated, and they're like a ceramic coating, so they can get sand and water in them and it beads it instantly. So you can break paint in them, and it almost cleans it out like very, very quick, and they don't wear. Yeah. But man, knowing my price on a set of XL shims, and then I don't get a break through them really. Yeah. It's like I'm like, man, I got to pay almost more than double what I normally pay for an XL setup. I'm like, damn, dude.
What about those reflex cockers? Yeah, have hands on.
Yeah,
I'm excited, but I also don't know what color I have.
How do you feel like knowing you pre-ordered yours and there were ones at Cup ready to buy?
Well, what
How does that make you feel? Right, like that to me, it
I'm
pisses me off.
50
There were
50 with
custom
it.
ones there.
I'm 50-50 with it. I think the customer should have got them first.
Yes.
But I understand. I feel like they could have had one there and maybe started shipping out to other people. Because I'm sure there's
Yeah.
someone who ordered a black one or a gray one or a
Oh
fade that
yeah,
they
I'm sure
had there.
all those colors were probably taken.
Maybe one of those could be the gun I get, for all I know, because I literally don't know what color. I literally said do something random when I paid for the extra color. So it's kind of,
Are you gonna get mad if what the one you wanted is or the one you got was there in cup?
yeah, because all these fucking little kids yanking on the damn thing for a week. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's not wear and tear, but these fucking dumb kids. I just remember when they first released the Pops ASA Planet Eclipse a million years ago. On like Wednesday at Cup, they were fine. And by Sunday, because everyone was fucking with them, they were like loose floppy ding dongs on the first batch they had. And
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I wonder if that's showing how this is gonna wear. I mean, I haven't seen any really wear like that. I don't know what it was, just a million people fucking with them all day long or
Yeah.
what, but I don't know. It's a little annoying, but like I said, mine should be shipping like next week, the first week of December. So next week or the week after, depending on how they consider the first week. So
Rex and them just asked me to play me and her the CFOA 10-man mech December 4th and 5th.
oh, that'll be fun.
So
That's
my
next
only
weekend.
knock on it is it's a 2-day event.
Yeah.
You play the first day, you play 4 matches. I think don't quote me. It's either mountains or on the woods. I can't remember. And the second day, you split 2 matches, I think, on hyperball and 2 matches on woods or 2 matches on mounds, something like that. So I think you play either 2 fields or 3 fields. So maybe it's like 4 matches on mounds or 4 matches on hyperball or 4-2-2, however it is. But he doesn't really know. I'm like, all right, but there are some fucking stout teams.
Oh yeah, because you're getting all these old players that are good. Like just because they got old, they can't play on an X ball field, but they can go run around the woods and shoot the shit out of people. Like
he's like you come show up and you play. So all the points. I kind of want to go just to have a reason to fucking break out the free flow again.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
You should.
Even though I have guns that are like goaded from neck, but
yeah,
I need a reason just to shoot the cocker. Really?
I don't blame you. Yeah, I think if I was you, I'd go just to shoot that cocker. Like you have an adrenaline also, don't you, or not? Or did you get rid of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have a grizzly, brand new grizzly.
Okay. But I was like, yeah, you totally should, because they might live stream that, and then I can watch you fucking run around the woods with a cocker. Funny. Trying to think. Grills, you don't like them. I like them.
I do not like them. I was very upset with them, actually.
I know. You're kind of excited.
Really?
I like them. I think they're cool. I like the front.
I don't like the front. I don't like the way the mouth is. I love the soft ears. Okay, I do love the soft ears, and I like most stuff about it. I don't like what they did under the eyes. It has like 2 triangles, like a clown. I don't like that.
I don't know if I've noticed that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you look at the pictures now, you'll see them. Right under the eyes, it has 2 like 3D printed triangles, like a clown's makeup. And then on the venting, they're like robotish. It's kind of really weird.
Yeah, no, I see I do like the venting. You got me interested on these triangles.
Yeah, they're under the eyes. They're 3D printed, like they're bulging out. They're like triangles under the eyes. It kind of that ruined it for me. If those weren't there, I was willing to get another mask to beat the piss out of for like practice. Yeah, and keep my HK just to like for tournaments, obviously. But I got
I see what you're saying. I don't know if I notice it though, because I feel like
when you're staring the mask face to face, you see it. Like it just looks really weird.
I don't know. I think I still like them. I like how they use the same lenses. I think that's awesome. And then the replaceable foam.
Yeah. I mean, everything's a very good idea on it. How about the rip off at Cup?
The rip off at Cup.
The i4 Pros.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so fucking stupid. When did i4s come out? 2009? 2008?
Yeah,
dude, they've been around a hot minute.
Whenever the Geo1 came out.
Yeah, I think that was Cup 2008 for like the 2009 season. Like back when they would do those.
They literally took the i4s and stuck i5 bands on them.
You know what that is, right? That's Billy Wings sitting in the back. He goes, "Hey, I know we got a bunch of these unfucking sold i4s, and we got a bunch of these extra straps.
Yeah, yep.
We can make that shit work."
Whenever I bought the Proto Mask, the Axis.
Yeah,
it was a die called a die something.
Yeah,
but if you when you took off the fucking lens cover, it had the proto thing up under it. So I'm
Yep.
like, you motherfuckers. I'm like,
Yep.
I know they're the same company, I understand,
Yeah.
but they're selling it like let's call it a dye invasion. I don't know what they called it, right? And then I look, I'm like, oh, I like this mask. This is the old proto mask. This is a goat mask. And then you go to clean it and you take off the lens cover and you see all the proto shit on it. Like, you motherfuckers, this is old stock from 10 years ago that you are sticking out here and selling as brand new product. You fucking cocks.
And what's crazy to me about, I'm looking at the price of these i4s. They're
Uh-huh.
$180. I'm pretty sure I didn't get a deal on my first i4. I think I paid
you
90
less,
bucks.
right?
Yeah, I think I paid like 90 or $100 for it. And
Yeah,
that
brand new,
wasn't on a deal. Like the next year,
ANX.com.
yeah, the next year your dad got us for a solid deal, I think, from First Call.
Like 50 or 60 bucks.
Yeah, because it was the same your dad did with the rotor back when they were, because that all came out the same year. The rotors were 150, and I think he was getting us those for like 100.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, I don't know. It just, that shit blows my mind because it's like re-releasing a product that you have had for 12 years, give or take.
How about Planet Eclipse not having a booth?
A little disappointing because I love Planet Eclipse. It's one of my, I still say it's one of the best companies in paintball. Like,
yeah, for sure.
The guns are amazing. Even all their equipment is normally good. The rumors I heard, don't know how true it was. It was just people in passing that they just didn't have enough stock because of everything going on right now. They couldn't get it all in time. So they were like, it was either show up with a big tech booth and no product or not show up at all, which I think if that's true, to me, they made the right decision by showing up and being support. You know what I mean? Like, because how many Planet Eclipse?
There's no way they can go there and not be there, right?
Like, yeah.
So,
especially when you have dye and all this around. So,
who do you think was the what you call it? The biggest bang at Cup company? What had the biggest like who was the winner at Cup for booths?
Who was the winner at Cup? Honestly, probably Die or Infamous. I would say one of those two. Infamous, like
I think I put Die at one of the worst.
Really?
As far as all top companies. Because the i4 bullshit.
Well, right? Yeah, but my thing was to me it was a real booth. Everybody else, the only other person or company that had a real booth was HK, and theirs was very tiny as well. That wasn't a normal HK booth. That was smaller than HK. To me, Die looked to be like, I guess, the biggest booth, and to me had the most product out of everybody. I guess is how I'm rating it for me.
They definitely had the like legit quote unquote booth set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as like the coolest products.
Right. The coolest products.
Like winner, like had products, you know, had set up and all that kind of stuff.
Some of the smaller guys like Masons and
DLX
Matrix.
did really well.
DLX did good, yeah.
With all the guns and stuff and the mech frames and all that kind of stuff. Like that was pretty big.
I mean, to me, other than Planet Eclipse, I thought the vendors were really solid. Like, although especially a turnaround from last year. One company I was upset. You don't like them. I do like them. Exalt. They were not there. They normally don't have a huge booth by any means. Yeah, but to me, they always have a well-equipped booth. And I believe they're local. Like, they're an Orlando or Kissimmee company. So them not – I'm pretty sure because I think the guy that plays for ML Kings, I forget his name, that does the How to Play Paintball YouTube channel or whatever. I believe he used to work for them. And he obviously is local. I that could not be 100% correct, but I think it is.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, that basically wraps up Cup.
Yeah.
So yeah, we took second, but we got
second
first place series by a fucking landslide.
Did you get your ring?
Oh yeah, they had rings there. That ring is fucking fat. It's huge.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty badass.
How'd you feel about getting asked to help carry the flag out there? Was that kind of cool?
Yeah.
It was you, Rangel, and I spacing on the other
Jeff
guys.
Munoz.
Jeff, okay.
Yep. So it was definitely a very cool experience. And it's like the whole time you're doing it, like you better not fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Like, everybody's watching, you know. So it's definitely a very cool experience. I'm not like one of the like super patriotic guys, you know what I mean? So that's not like typically my forte. Like I don't, you know what I mean? But it's very cool to go out there and represent like your country first of all, and do it with your good friends. and be doing it for a sport that you love. It's very cool. You know, I guess that would be kind of like singing the national anthem at like your sport, you know, something like that. I thought it was pretty badass. So
when I saw the pictures, I sent it to my dad. My dad, he goes, that's fucking sweet. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was our 2021 World Cup transitioning into the off season. I mean, what's the World Cup thing behind you? Is that just a banner? I just now noticed it.
Yeah, that's the banner we got for taking second place, and then third place we got like all the other fucking shit, medals and rings and all that kind of shit. But that's the big banner. You hang that up.
Yeah, that thing looks sweet. But yeah. So, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I got one more thing.
All right.
So with it being Turkey Day coming up here, we are going to go with a Thanksgiving Day draft.
A Thanksgiving Day draft? Okay.
Yeah, just like the NFL would do, right? And we are going to you get 5 picks, and you basically choose your 5 dishes that will be at Thanksgiving if you had the choice of exactly what to put on the table. Okay. So I'll give you first pick.
Okay. A ham. Ham over turkey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go deep fried Cajun turkey, 100%.
Okay. Well, okay, that's fair.
You know,
that's
you can do it however you want, how you prepare it, right?
Yeah.
So don't feel like you can't leave stuff out.
I would probably do German mashed potatoes, which are well, so it's not German mashed potatoes. It's like German potato salad, I guess is the correct term. So it's like normal potatoes, but they're like chunky, but it's like ham mixed in there with the potatoes, vinegar, and there's something green. I think it's celery. And they're just kind of all tossed together. It's a cold dish, so it's not hot or anything. The potatoes are like boiled beforehand, so they're not like raw, but they're kind of chopped up in there. I like it. It's a German thing, but it's very, very good.
I'm gonna go with mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay. I'm gonna go mac and cheese.
Ooh,
but like a good mac and cheese. Like I don't like. See, this might be controversial. I don't like the bullshit baked mac and cheese. Like
really?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I'm a big mac and cheese guy.
Are you? See, I want it to be good and creamy.
See, her mom does a crock pot mac and cheese that like is very good. So it's not baked. It's like, still like mac and cheese, but it's like super thick for cheese. That's really good. But man, a nice thick, like you cook the mac and cheese and then you put it in a pan, then you cheese the piss out of it and bake it like a double baked mac and cheese, and you can have it like cake. Like when you pick it out, it's like cake.
See, I don't like it like that. I don't like it when I take it out. It's like
God tier.
I like putting the cheese on after the fact and maybe do a quick like broil. Yeah. But I want it to still be, I want to run the spoon through it and I don't want to say watery, but I want it to not, I don't know. It needs to be a little more looser than how you're describing.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it's good. It's mac and cheese. Most people don't bitch about mac and cheese.
Well, since you already picked mac and cheese, I guess at my party, we're taking candied yams, like with. Hey. Hold on. Like,
okay, all right, I'll let you finish.
You don't like sweet potatoes?
No, I don't like sweet potatoes.
Oh my god! With syrup, brown sugar, and then marshmallows on top, melted.
See, literally what you described, somebody asked me today at work, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't do that. I can't. I mean,
that's so good.
I would literally be like a toddler,
like half dessert, half
scrape the marshmallows off. Like that's cool.
God, yeah, some brown sugar, some syrup, and then fucking load it with marshmallows right before it's done, and let it bake in there. Boy, it is fire.
I mean, it sounds better than I expected, so I'll give you that.
It's really good.
I would do stuffing, but not that stovetop bullshit. Like somebody that actually knows how to make a legit stuffing. Like,
good.
But I don't like it. Stuffing. I don't like it in the turkey. Like I want it made separate. Like someone actually stuffs the turkey. It kind of freaks me out. Like I don't need to shove my food at the turkey's ass before I eat it. Like that's where my mind goes. So.
Yeah, I'm not a big turkey stuffing kind of guy. But I will say I am a sucker for some stovetop stuffing. It is very easy.
It's easy. It's okay.
I had to go with the bread, and I was gonna go with rolls, but man, rolls are so blah. Like
Yeah,
I think
I
I'm gonna
skipped
go
the
with
bread.
yeah. I think since you already have stuffing, I was gonna go with stuffing. So you got me on the stuffing, and you got me on the mac and cheese. I would definitely have those. But since we have to go with only five, and those are gone, I think I'm gonna go with like a sweet cornbread,
Okay.
like
Oh,
a
that's a good pick.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
like a
about
like
that.
a sugary cornbread, you can keep it simple, like even a jiffy cornbread, but put some sugar in there, so it's like sweet. I think that's besides rolls, everybody's got rolls. A lot of them
Yeah.
have biscuits, you know what I mean, like that. But some sweet cornbread, I think is fucking goaded.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick. So we got one more pick.
Final pick.
Um, pecan pie.
Ooh,
You,
pecan pie.
you gotta
Gotta have a
have,
dessert.
yeah, you
Gotta
gotta
have
have
a
a
dessert.
dessert.
Yeah.
So pecan pie is my favorite. Because I mean, you could put, I don't know if this would be a second pick, but some people put like vanilla ice cream. Like to them, it's one thing. So they'll
Yes.
put a little vanilla ice cream on top of the
Little
pecan
scoop.
pie. I mean,
Yep.
that's how I would do it.
Um, yeah, so I'm probably gonna go with gotta have a dessert. I didn't think you were gonna go with the dessert, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely going with dessert
we can
here.
have two desserts.
Um, because I think undrafted, you could pick up some guys in the practice squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some guys that nobody's gonna pick up. Um, I think I'm gonna go with banana pudding. I
Oh
think
yeah, that's a good one too.
banana
I,
pudding. I think
I don't know what mix for banana pudding my mom uses, but it's damn near like it's probably 50% banana pudding and then like 50% Cool Whip, and it's fucking amazing. Like there's so
yes.
much Cool Whip mixed in there. I love it.
Do you go with like the chess cookies on top? You know what I'm talking about?
No, we normally do
Well,
the Nilla
wafers,
wafers. Yeah,
all wafers, right?
yeah,
Yeah, we do bottom layers all bananas,
yeah.
and then wafers throughout, and then you do big chess cookies on top, like thick.
Chess cookies. I don't even have heard of
Yeah,
those.
yeah, they're like
Is that like a Maryland thing that y'all used to do it that way?
no, her mom actually does it, and I
Oh,
never
okay.
had it before, really. Yeah, trying to think the best way to describe it. It's like a thick, those cookies you get in the white bag, like sugar cookies kind of deal.
Yeah.
Imagine like a very thick sugar cookie
Okay.
that's like doesn't have sugar on top of, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a sweet cookie, like a bread cookie kind of deal. But you
Gotcha.
do those on top so that like they hold the consistency. It's
Gotcha.
all
That
about
does sound good.
consistency, really.
Yeah.
And you got to sign now that the draft's over. You got to sign one guy that you didn't have to worry about me picking. Who you signing? Who you picking up?
I mean, we already have mashed potatoes, but a cheesy mashed potato, something with
Yeah,
some more cheese or cheese or bacon mixed in there, like a loaded mashed potato type thing.
you already have German.
That's
Potato.
fine. I'm about my
You have
potatoes.
double mash.
Fuck yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with cranberries. It's cranberry sauce.
Cranberries. Yeah, I don't do the cranberries either.
Yeah, but I want like the shitty cranberries that
Well,
come out
that's
of the
what everybody
can.
says. They want the shittier the cranberry, the better it is for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
out of the can that you have to like put the fucking knife around and it comes out like a blob of shit, and then you slice it. I think
Yes.
I think cranberry sauce, because it's not really cranberry sauce. It's like cranberry gelatin, I guess.
Jello.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but the cranberry is like slept on. It is slept on.
I don't like it.
Everybody
I like
sleeps on it.
cranberry juice. I can't do the fucking
Everybody says
Jello.
that. Yeah, it's very bitter,
Yeah.
but you
I
need
might
something
try it
to
again
break
tomorrow.
up. It breaks it up. You got to have a little bit of a difference.
That's fair. That's fun. Good little segment you had there. You caught
Yeah,
me
yeah,
off
yeah.
guard with that. I was like, fuck, draft. Is he telling me who the top 5 players are gonna be? Like like the top 5 pros for next season? I'm like, fuck, it's hard for me to list top 5 current pros. I could list off 40 old ones, but
Yeah.
that was fun. But yeah, so I guess I'll take us out of here.
All right.
Thanks for listening and watching, doing all the things everybody does. Good
Buying the
luck in
merch,
your
not buying the
buying
merch.
merch, not buying merch. Good luck in everybody's off seasons, finding new teams, figuring out what they're gonna do, and have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.
Later, guys.
Boom. That worked out well. Good little
Yes.
segue you had there.